13 million kids are bullied every day, and 3 million of those are absent every month because they feel unsafe in their own schools. Next Friday, an incredible documentary called Bully looks at the problem in a way we haven't seen before through the eyes of the children themselves. Take a look.
We had heard that he had his head shoved into a wall locker. Some kids had told him to go hang himself, that he is worthless. When I found him that morning, we knew why Tyler did what he did.
What we get is nothing's wrong. We didn't do anything. Everything's fine.
We can make a difference for kids that don't have to go 4 years of torment and sadness and not want to go to school. My voice is not going to fall silent. I will go to my grave until a difference is made.
This is David and Tina Long. And as you just saw, their story was part of the documentary. They're here to talk about their son, Tyler, who committed suicide in 2009 after constant bullying became too much. Thank you, first of all, for being here.
Thank you.
It means a lot to me that you're here.
Thank you.
So, 2009 is, how long had Tyler been bullied? And when did you find out? How long had it been going on, and did he tell you, or how did you find out?
Really surfaced when he started middle school. Was really when it became known to us what was going on in his life.
So he came home, and would he say, you know, they're calling me names? That would he actually tell you what was going on, or did he try to hide it?
No, he told us. And we would complain, and we would tell people. And Tyler had Asperger's. And in Tyler's mind, he thought it was black and white to him. If they're doing it to me, why won't they stop? Why won't they make them stop? And that's how Tyler felt.
And so in the film you say they hit his head against a locker, they called him names. And was that the worst of the physical, was hitting his head against a locker?
Yes.
Okay, so and first of all, you just assume that when you talk to the school, you assume they're gonna look out for your son, and they're gonna take care of whatever situation is going on. But then they told you that it had stopped, that he was okay, right? That
when we would complain, a lot of times what we would get is, he's fine, everything's wonderful. But that's not what Tyler told us. Right. And we would still convey that back.
But he was happy when he wasn't in school. Like during the summers, he was a completely happy, normal kid. It was just at school, right?
He thrived during the summer. He had a lot of independence and freedom. And one of the things that we did was, Troy and Taryn, his brother and sister, we talked to them in depth, and we wanted to make home a safe place. We knew that he was getting bullied at school and that he had such a hard time at school that we had conversations about how home he would be safe and that he wouldn't get that at home. We would make it as comfortable and peaceful for him at home as we could.
Right. And it was, and he was.
Correct.
And I read something this morning that just broke my heart. You just thought if you love him enough, you just thought you could just love him, and he would feel that love, and that would be enough to sustain him.
I think we downplay what kids think, the peers think of their kids. I think we downplay that a lot. And a parent can only do so much. They can't go to school with them. They can't keep them safe there. We can keep them safe at home, and we can love them tremendously. But when they walk into that building, something else happens.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I can't imagine losing a child. And I can't imagine. I know that what you're doing is incredible, speaking out, because you're making a difference. And his story needs to be told, because there are people out there that have children that this is probably happening to every single day, and maybe they're not listening enough. They're not hearing that they might need to pay more attention, right?
One of the things, we got a call 5 weeks after Tyler's death. A man named David Carroll, local news anchor, organized a town hall meeting And one of the things, we got a phone call from a man named Lee Hirsch who said, we're going to be at your house, and I think it was tomorrow, actually. Of course, I didn't know who Lee was, thought he was some madman that was just going to show up. But he came to the house and said, I want to film you for a documentary called The Bully Project. It was then. And what Lee did, of course, we thought it might go to PBS or something small like that. And we filmed that documentary, and Tyler had just passed. It was very, very hard for us.
Yeah.
But I think what we found is we healed in that process as well. That Lee has given us so much through this film that we needed to get through this.
And it was kind of strange to me. I mean, during that whole process after Tyler's death, it's just a lot of why, and there was no answers. I mean, you can ask yourself millions of questions, and there's just no end resolution to it. I mean, there's no answer. But what Lee had gave us when he showed up the day of the town hall meeting was, after we worked with him on this project, was hope. And that if we can change one kid's life or make a difference in one kid's life, then how could we not do this, tell our story?
Right, exactly.
And that has been the whole purpose behind this whole thing.
Yep.
And if you look now, it's just amazing the interest and the conversation and the people that's getting behind it and supporting it. I mean, 2 years ago, I would have never thought that.
Yeah. And we still have a long, long way to go, but this is a start. We have to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to find out how you're doing today and how day by day it goes, and talk about this movie that everyone needs to see. We'll be right back. It's been 2.5 years since Tyler passed, and we're joined now by Troy and Taryn, who are twins, 17 years old, right?
Yes.
And you're actually in the same school and same grade that Tyler was in when this happened, right?
Yes.
Same school, and how is that for you two?
You know, it's hard, because, we walked down the same hallway, he talked, to the same teachers, but, it's it's a day-by-day process, and
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
The teachers are really supportive there, and if it wasn't for them, I couldn't go there still.
Do you notice a difference in how the kids are? Are they kinder? Is there still bullying going on?
There still is, yes.
Really?
There's not been a change.
Not even a slight change. Everyone is still that way.
Yes.
I mean, there's and it's hard for me to bring this up because it's important at the same time. But I heard that kids were telling him he should go home and hang himself. Whoever said that, I don't know how they live with themselves to this day, because I mean to be that hateful, to say something like that to someone, and that there hasn't been a change since this happened is astounding to me.
It's heartbreaking.
After Tyler passed, I know that kids came to school wearing nooses around their necks.
Really?
Really.
And what did the school do?
Nothing.
Wow.
That's what we said.
Wow.
After Tyler died, you're numb. We were so numb, and we didn't know what to do. We couldn't focus on anything but the one thing that Troy and I did do every day. He would come home from school, and he would come and get me, and he would say, it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock now to us means
Ellen.
It was the only time during the day for weeks that we could laugh or smile
Have fun.
or escape or let go. And this was early, right after Tyler passed.
Yeah. Mom had said, Troy, have you watched The Ellen Show? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, come home tomorrow and we'll watch it together. And I watched it, and I was like, she's so amazing. And so every day now I come home and I watch it and I laugh, and it's just so good to come home and be refreshed. But, you make everybody so happy, so.
Well, that's what I hope to do every single day. I hope that I make people feel better, and it's really, it's so sad for me that the world is filled with so many people that are just downright hateful, but then just not compassionate, not evolved enough to know that we are all valuable. Every single one of us has value. Everything that, if you believe in God, whatever you believe in, that created all of us for a reason. And that someone would think someone is less valuable for any reason is, I don't understand it at all. And I know that you, there was something I read this morning. We're kind of running out of time, but we'll put whatever we don't air, we're going to put on the website because there's too much of this to not air. You were driving recently, because I was going to ask how it is, and it's been 2.5 years. You were driving recently and had to pull over. I'd like you to tell that story.
Since Tyler's death, I guess different people go through different grieving processes. And truly and honestly, I don't think I had grieved. And, there's moments that you find yourself crying, certain situations. Be driving down the road, see something that reminds you of Tyler, and you feel bad. But that Saturday, I was driving to go up to my mom's house, and I was listening to a song by Daly and Vincent, which is a bluegrass gospel duo, and the song it's called On the Other Side, and the chorus in it's so poignant, and if you ever listen to it, you'll understand what I'm saying. And I had been for about 6 months just in a bad spot, and I just couldn't let go, and then listening to the words of the song, I just pulled over and basically said, Tyler, I'm not letting you go, son. You're still here with me. But if change is gonna come, I have to let go. But you're still here, son, just know, and I love you. And I think that was the one point that I needed to reach that says there is a purpose and there's a mission here that we need to change. We need to all seriously look at what's happening in our public schools, not only in our public schools, as who we are as a society, and make a change. And now is the time to change. If we don't do it now, 10 years from now, our grandkids' children are going to be sitting here talking about the same thing that we're sitting here today talking about. And for once, there is something, a tool, a resource to show what children are enduring, the effects it has on them, what work we need to do inside our public schools, and if we don't, the end result of what will happen.
I think no one ever imagines this. I mean, you hear a story, your kid, I'm sure everyone out there, it can relate in some way. Someone as a kid that comes home and says, I've been bullied today, but no one ever imagines it's going to get to this point where you find your son in his room. And we have to stop it before it gets to that point. There are too many kids. Just in the last couple of months, 3 more kids committed suicide just in this area. We're losing kids, and it's not okay. I mean, we need to learn how to love one another and accept one another and teach our kids, and because those kids are learning it from somewhere. Those kids that are still at that school doing that, they don't just do that. Your parents have to take responsibility and be parents and take care of those kids and say, love other children, treat them with respect. I thank you for being here, and we all send you our love, and this is a very important thing you're doing. It's a very important project. I hope everybody goes to see Bully. It's in theaters everywhere, March 30th, and it's important. It's rated R. It shouldn't be rated R. We all tried to change the rating. It should be, because kids really need to see this film. They really, really do. I send you my love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we send Tyler our love.
Thank you.
Be kind to one another. Bye.